Well, good afternoon. Today's July 9th. Today we are hauling fertilizer to these pivots. We have to haul fertilizer to each one of these individually out of double cones or however we decide that we're purchasing it of the year. But what will happen is there's a pump right here. We can turn the pump on and it sucks the fertilizer out of the tank, injects it into the pivot, pump the fertilizer into our irrigation water and water the crops like that. It's a beautiful day out. Crops are looking good. I'm gonna go show y'all some cotton. The cotton has started to grow. Cotton looks pretty good. Got a lot of squares on these plants. And these squares are what's gonna make turn into blooms and then into cotton bolls. Here you can see there's a bloom. This bloom is pink, starting to turn pink. And for instance, right here, this is a yellow flower. This one's just flowering. And once that gets pollinated, it'll turn pink like this one is, and then it'll turn into a bowl. So this cotton has got some age on it. This is probably May 8th, May 7th planted cotton. Should really be getting after it pretty soon. That's why it's crucial that we get our fertilizer coming or getting on the crop. We had some hail damage in this, I can tell. You can see these leaves. Crops are looking good. Big and green crops, still a little thin, but when you look down the row, they look pretty. Problem is we've just got chops like this, just 2-foot skips, a skip, 2-foot skip, skip, and then it's perfect. So, lots of storms have been across this field. Ground's got plenty of moisture in it. Just had a couple tenths of rain 2 days ago here. So, hopefully we'll get us some big rain chances coming and get a good 2-3 inch rain, get a good soaker rain on this crop. Sure help it produce a lot of cotton. Got a Coulter rig running over here. Might go over there and show you all the Coulter rig running. We're putting out fertilizer in between the narrow rows. So it'd be a Coulter right there. We got a volunteer cotton. Let's go ahead and get rid of him. Roots look pretty good for a volunteer. A little shallow. I'd like to see that root a little longer. That's not too big of a plant. All right, we're out in the field. We are spraying foliar feed, spraying zinc on this cotton, and some PGR, plant growth regulator. As you can tell, it's kind of got a pea green in it. I got Albert and Cheeto over there. They're running the Coulter rig. We just blew a hose on it. And I'll show y'all more of that when we get closer to them. Some of this cotton's getting a little bit growy. And you can tell it's getting growy because the distance in between the node links there, see that's about 2.5 fingers. That one's roughly 3. We want to keep these nodes, which the node is, here, I'll just tear that off. Then the node is the distance between this branch where my finger is to that branch, and we want to keep those nodes relatively short. About 3 fingers is what we're after. So what we're doing is essentially we are trying to make this plant not grow so tall, and we want it to grow out wide and bushy. We want our energy of this plant to be putting the energy that it's gaining from the nutrients into making bulb production and fruit production versus foliage production. So we've got the fertilizer rig. I don't know if y'all can see that way over there in the distance. He's turning around. We're running a Coulter rig here, and we are applying 3200 nitrogen right in the middle of these 2 rows. This is where our drip tape is. We've been dripping, and you can tell that soil is nice and moist. It's got quite a bit of moisture in there to allow this plant to produce a healthy crop. Coulter rig coming by. We are putting nitrogen in the narrow row. This is where our drip tape goes right here. So most of our roots are gonna grow towards this row naturally because its water supply is in this row. So we're applying nitrogen where the roots are most likely going to grow and they have a better chance of reaching our fertilizer. We're putting out roughly 40 gallons of 3200. It's equivalent to around 140 units of nitrogen. So we're sticking out pretty hot and heavy. We want these plants to utilize this nitrogen and put it into fruit production. And that way, maybe by the end of the year, we'll have a plentiful harvest here. Now, we're still really early. This cotton is not using much moisture yet. It doesn't have a full fruit load on it. You can see that one there. And underneath that dead flower will be the cotton boll. Right in there. That's a baby cotton boll. So when those bolls start getting bigger, filling out, this cotton will be using a lot of moisture. So it's kind of peak season right now to get our fertilizers on these fields. On all our fields, that's mainly what we've been working on. Is this week's agenda is to fertilize. Get as much fertilizer put out as we can. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.